What's up, Steelers Nation? The Pittsburgh Steelers are in full-on off-season mode, putting in the work to strengthen their roster and bring that coveted 7th Lombardi trophy back to the Steel City. The front office is hard at work, fine-tuning every detail to ensure we're primed for a dominant 2025 season. If you're hyped about the team making some serious moves, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any major updates on the Steelers. Now, let's dive into today's exciting news. It looks like Pittsburgh might have its sights set on one of the NFL's most underrated cornerbacks, Nate Hobbs, from the Las Vegas Raiders. With a secondary that could use some upgrades, the Steelers are reportedly targeting Hobbs this offseason, especially considering his connection with the team's new defensive backs coach, Gerald Alexander. While Alexander wasn't directly coaching Hobbs in Vegas last season, the two worked closely enough for Alexander to have a solid understanding of Hobbs's abilities. And let's be real, that insider knowledge could be a huge advantage. At just 25 years old, Hobbs has been a consistent performer for the Raiders, primarily playing slot corner. He'd be an ideal fit for the Steelers' defense, particularly with Cameron Sutton hitting the open market. If Sutton decides to leave, Hobbs could step in as a seamless replacement. Even if Sutton stays, adding Hobbs would bring serious depth and flexibility to the secondary. A 5th-round pick out of Illinois in 2021, Hobbs has been a key figure in the Raiders' defensive backfield. He's known for being a strong tackler, a solid run defender, and an aggressive cover corner unafraid to get physical with receivers. Plus, he's capable of moving to the outside, offering Pittsburgh even more defensive options. In the 2024 season, Hobbs allowed just 31 receptions on 46 targets, grabbed an interception, and, get this, didn't commit a single penalty in 11 games. That kind of discipline and coverage ability would be a huge asset to a Steelers team in a division full of elite wide receivers. There is one potential downside: durability. Hobbs has missed games in each of the last 3 seasons and hasn't played a full 17-game schedule since his rookie year. However, with Pittsburgh's track record of developing defensive backs, they could likely find a way to manage his workload while maximizing his impact when he's on the field. Looking at last season's secondary, the Steelers had some highs and lows. Joey Porter Jr. looks like he's on track to become a star, but depth behind him is a concern. Patrick Peterson is aging, and while Beanie Bishop Jr. has flashed potential, he's still a bit of an unknown. Bringing in Hobbs could be the upgrade Pittsburgh needs, potentially providing a long-term solution in the secondary. But that's not the only big decision facing the Steelers. The team also has to figure out who will be under center for the 2025 season. With the legal tampering period just around the corner, Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback signed for next year. Insiders are reporting that the Steelers are working on a deal for either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, with Fields currently being the top priority. Fields, 26, was the starter for Pittsburgh at the start of the 2024 season, posting a solid 4-2 record. Wilson, on the other hand, went 6-5 when he took over the role. While Wilson is a seasoned veteran with a borderline Hall of Fame resume, Fields has youth and potential on his side. One area where Fields showed significant improvement last season was in reducing turnovers. Under Mike Tomlin's guidance, he evolved from an overly aggressive risk-taker to a more controlled and conservative quarterback. Some may argue it was an overcorrection, but it showed clear growth in his game. If the Steelers lock him down, the next step will be to help him find the right balance between playing it safe and taking calculated risks. With other teams like the New York Jets and Tennessee Titans potentially eyeing Fields, Pittsburgh can't afford to wait too long, or they might miss out. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders are also in the quarterback market after missing out on Matthew Stafford, who decided to stay with the Rams. With Stafford off the table, reports suggest that Russell Wilson could be a prime target for the Raiders. With minority owner Tom Brady and new head coach Pete Carroll both showing interest. Carroll, of course, has a long history with Wilson, helping him win a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. Despite their rocky parting, in 2022 when Wilson was traded to Denver, it seems the two have mended their relationship, making a reunion in Vegas a real possibility. If the Raiders bring in Wilson, it could be as a bridge quarterback, helping them stabilize their offense while they groom a younger quarterback. As for the Steelers, they still don't have a definitive answer at quarterback for 2025. Wilson and Fields are both technically on the roster, but neither is locked in for next season. Most reports suggest Pittsburgh is leaning toward Fields as the quarterback of the future, primarily because of his potential and age. At 36, Wilson isn't the long-term solution, despite his solid performances last year. If the Steelers don't move quickly, Fields could find himself with a lucrative offer from another team, leaving Pittsburgh in a tough spot. If the Steelers don't act fast, Wilson could become a free agent and entertain offers from teams like the Raiders or the New York Giants, both of whom have shown interest in the past. However, if the Raiders do pursue Wilson, it wouldn't be a surprise. With their early draft picks, they could look to add a young quarterback while letting Wilson serve as a mentor, much like he did with Fields in Pittsburgh. So Steelers fans, what do you think? Should the team target Nate Hobbs to shore up the secondary? And when it comes to the quarterback position, is Justin Fields the future? Or should Pittsburgh turn to Russell Wilson for a potential bridge year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button.